That celebrity bodyguard big homie CC breaking down how guys like Diddy rigged their private jets with hidden cameras, and now the feds might have just cracked it wide open. The FBI just seized Diddy's $30 million Gulfstream, and what they found on board allegedly terabytes of hidden footage not just of Diddy, but of other high-profile celebrities in seriously compromising situations. Is this the final nail in Diddy's case, or are we looking at the unraveling of something way bigger? Network of elite blackmails, tapes, and surveillance that could shake Hollywood to its core. Let's break down what's on that jet and why everyone's panicking. The mysterious jet and the bombshell radio and the wild saga of Sean Diddy Combs' dramatic fall from the top. Nothing's got people buzzing more than the mysterious movements of his private jet during the Fed's massive investigation. This ain't just any airplane. We're talking about a Gulfstream G550 registered to Love Air LLC, a Combs-owned company that's becomes central to all the street talk about what evidence might exist in the case against the hip-hop mogul, and where that heat might be hiding. The whole thing popped off in March 2024 when federal agents ran up on Diddy's lavish cribs in both Los Angeles and Miami. These weren't just regular search warrants. This was some coordinated operation by Homeland Security investigations, part of a major sweep into allegations that had been brewing in the cut for months while agents were tossing his mansions. Everybody was looking to the skies where some real suspicious activity was going down. According to The Independent, Diddy's private jet was tracked making a questionable flight pattern right when things were getting hot. The Gulfstream G550 reportedly bounced from Sacramento Executive Airport, touched down at Palm Springs and Van Nuys airports, and then mad suspicious landed in Antigua in the Caribbean shortly after news of the property raids broke. The timing had everybody asking questions. Was this man trying to flee? Was there something on that plane that needed to be moved quick out of U.S. territory, making it even more soon? The jet public tracking suddenly went dark on FlightAware. At the owner's request right around this time. For anybody paying attention, this move looked calculated. Why go ghost mode at exactly the moment when federal investigators were closing, and the coincidence was too perfect, sparking all kinds of speculation about what might be happening with the aircraft and what it might be carrying. While the raids on Diddy's properties were blowing up headlines, online streets were going crazy with theories about his private jet. Social media was lit with claims that the FBI had intercepted the aircraft, potentially finding crucial evidence on board. YouTube videos with clickbait titles about bombshell discoveries aboard the jet were racking up millions of views, with commenters going in about what kind of confidential footage might have been recovered. The heavy focus on Diddy's jet made sense given the wild stuff investigators allegedly found at his properties. According to reports from NBC, Miami, and other sources, the raids uncovered some seriously incriminating items. AR-15s with scratched-off serial numbers, various drugs and illegal substances, multiple electronic devices, including phones that were snatched before a scheduled trip. Most wild, over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. This last item was particularly crucial, as it directly connected to allegations about what prosecutors would later call free-course marathon sessions that allegedly involved force, blacks, and heavy drug use. With such crazy materials found at his homes, everybody was wondering, could there be even more damning evidence stashed on his private jet? The speculation went through the roof when a TikTok post viewed over 666,900 times claimed Diddy got bagged while trying to flee on his jet, connecting the aircraft directly to his eventual arrest. The video spread like wildfire despite later being debunked by Newsweek. But what about the infamous footage supposedly found on the jet? Stories circulating online suggested that authorities had discovered video evidence that could blow the whole case wide open. Whether these were security recordings, personal videos, or something else entirely, the rumors painted a picture of potentially incriminating material that could seal Diddy's fate for good. Such claims gained mad traction following the May 2024 release of hotel surveillance footage by CNN showing Diddy physically assaulting Casa Ventura in a hotel hallway. The interest in Diddy's private jet also connected to broader allegations about his lifestyle and Activities multiple accusers had claimed that Diddy would fly them on private jets for events that later involved alleged abuse. The jet wasn't just a flex item. According to some accounts, it was potentially a key player in facilitating the very behavior under investigation. These claims became particularly relevant when considering the testimony of individuals like celebrity bodyguard Big Homie CeCe, who made explosive statements about what allegedly went down at Diddy's parties in a viral interview. He detailed disturbing scenes he claimed to have witnessed firsthand.
Seen Dwight Howard in a pink dress, bro.
What?
I seen Dwight Howard in a pink dress with two other trans ladies in dresses. They all the same height at a Diddy party.
Further fueling the speculation was Diddy's own admission about his behavior in at least one instance after CNN released a 2016 hotel video showing him assaulting Cassie. Diddy issued a video apology where he admitted to his actions, saying he was truly sorry and that he hit rock bottom. This admission lent credibility to the idea that other evidence of troubling behavior might exist. The jet speculation also connected to statements made by other celebrities who had experiences with Diddy. Actor Terrence Howard made particularly explosive claims about his interactions with a music mogul, alleging inappropriate advances during what was supposed to be a professional meeting.
He invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music, and he's sitting there just looking at me.
Howard's claims, along with numerous others that emerged during this period, added to the impression that there might be extensive evidence of inappropriate behavior, potentially including whatever might be discovered on the private jet. As weeks turned into months following the initial raids, of questions about Diddy's jet and what it might contain only intensified with his September 2024 arrest on serious federal charges, including racketeering, conspiracy, trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. The stakes couldn't have been higher if authorities had indeed seized the jet and found evidence on board, as many online claimed it could prove crucial to the case. The shocking allegations and mounting lawsuits, it all started popping off in November 2023 when Cassandra Cassie Ventura, Diddy's former girlfriend and artist, filed a bombshell lawsuit alleging years of physical, sexual, and emotional abuse. According to Cass's lawsuit, the relationship, which began when she was just 19 and Diddy was 37, quickly turned controlling and abusive. She claimed Diddy beat her down on multiple occasions, forced her to take drugs, and coerced her into sexual encounters with male sex workers and events he called freak-offs.
If you could name like some celebrities that you remember being at the party, who was all at the party that night?
All of Bad Boy. Mary J. Blige was there.
Within weeks, more lawsuits started dropping. Joy Dickhouse and Neil filed a suit claiming Diddy had druggedly assaulted and videotaped her in 1991 when she was a college student, and allegedly showed the recording to others in what she described as revenge. Another woman, Lisa Gardner, filed suit claiming she was raped by Diddy and singer Aaron Hall in 1990. These initial lawsuits were just the beginning as 2024 progressed. The allegations continued to stack up at a staggering pace. By October 2024, Texas attorney Tony Busby announced he was representing over 120 new accusers with claims against Diddy spanning from the 1970s to 2022, an almost unimaginable scope of alleged misconduct. One particularly shocking lawsuit came from Rodney Lil Rod Jones, producer, who worked with Diddy in 2022 and 2023. Jones alleged that Diddy harassed and assaulted him during the creation of the album, the Love album, off the grid. Jones claimed Diddy groped him, walked around naked in his presence, and gave him drinks. He believes Lace's lawsuit also alleged that he witnessed Diddy engaging in serious criminal activity, and that the mogul had a well-documented history of forcing himself on male artists and employees.
One woman said that she didn't see the full video, but she saw a screenshot of the video, and that it was very, can I say,
damning?
Yes.
Yes, you can
it
say
was
that.
very damning.
You're such a prude.
No, I don't know if we can say on the radio, but that got her exclusive.
The allegations took an even darker turn with claims from Crystal McKinney, who alleged in a July 2024 lawsuit that Diddy assaulted her in 2003 and threatened her life if she snitched. Other lawsuits allege involvement of additional celebrities, creating a web of accusations that extended beyond Diddy himself. Perhaps the most disturbing allegations came from individuals claiming they were minors when the alleged abuse occurred. One unnamed plaintiff identified as Jane Doe filed a lawsuit in October 2024 alleging she was ganged by Diddy and Jay-Z in 2000 when she was just 13 years old, though the lawsuit was amended and refiled several times, with some versions omitting Jay-Z's name. The allegations sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry. Another plaintiff, Justin Gutch, claimed in a February 2025 lawsuit that Diddy sexually assaulted him in 1999 when he was 16 years old at a party in the Hamptons after allegedly giving him alcohol. These accusations involving minors added yet another troubling dimension to the already explosive case. The allegations weren't limited to unknown individuals. Dawn Richard, a singer and former member of the group Danny Kane, which Diddy created through his TV show Making the Band, filed a lawsuit in September 2024 alleging assault, battery, and other claims. Richard claimed she witnessed Diddy's abuse of Casa Ventura and alleged that Diddy held freak-off parties where underage girls were drugged and subjected to acts.
Do you believe the rumors? Do you think that he's capable of something like that?
Yeah,
Puffy,
I think cowards are capable of paying people to do things they would like to do, of course.
The sheer volume of lawsuits was staggering. By May 2025, as Diddy's criminal trial was beginning, over 60 civil lawsuits had been filed against him, with attorney Tony Busby indicating that over 400 potential new claims were being evaluated. The alleged misconduct spanned more than 3 decades, creating what one observer described as the biggest sexual abuse scandal in the history of the music industry. Allegations gained additional credibility in May 2024 when CNN published surveillance footage from 2016 showing Diddy physically assaulting Cassie in a hotel hallway. The graphic video showed Diddy grabbing Cassie, throwing her to the ground, kicking her, and dragging her down a hallway. Visual evidence that appeared to back up at least some of her claims. In response, Diddy issued a video apology saying he was truly sorry and that he hit rock bottom during that period of his life.
You ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
According to the indictment filed by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, Diddy was charged with racketeering, conspiracy, trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. The charges allege that from 2008 to the present, Diddy had led a criminal enterprise involving trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. The free calls featured prominently in the indictment, mentioned 27 times in the 14-page document. Prosecutors described these events as elaborate marathon hotel room encounters involving heavy drug use and coerced acts, essentially trafficking disguised as parties. The indictment alleged that Diddy used threats, monitoring, and physical abuse to control victims and force them to participate in these events against their will.
I go outside in the Escalade and I'm just chilling out there because, you know, bro, I got a reputation to maintain, bro, outstanding member. Like, I don't want nobody thinking that, man, they got BH with this. That was always a concern for me, bro. That was always a concern. I seen it for myself because Bobby Valentino was the person I was bodyguarding there.
The allegations against Diddy also raise uncomfortable questions about the music industry as a whole, as such widespread abuse could allegedly occur for decades at the hands of one of the industry's most prominent figures. What did that suggest about the industry's culture and power dynamics? These questions will continue to reverberate as Diddy's case moved toward trial in 2025.
Sure, though. Because one time, I had got a call because he had barricaded himself in a hotel room. He barricaded himself in the hotel room, the promoter trying to get their backhand back. At this time, I guess the Molly was beating him. He was getting wild with everybody. So I guess he said he wasn't paying nobody nothing. So like a couple guys that called me like, man, you would take some money to help us get Gucci out this hotel room. I'm like, bro, he gon' pop.
By the time jury selection began on May 5th, 2025, the allegations against Diddy had created one of the most shocking celebrity scandals in recent memory. The trial and the fallout when jury selection kicked off on May 5th. 2025 in a Manhattan federal court. Sean Diddy Combs' fall from grace entered its most public phase, yet the trial, officially titled United States v. Combs, represented a wild reversal of fortune for a man who had once been celebrated as a music industry icon, successful entrepreneur and cultural influencer. Now he was sitting at the defendant's table facing charges that could potentially have him locked up for life. The prosecution, led by federal prosecutors from the Southern District of New York, came heavy with a substantial case built on witness testimony, physical evidence from the property raids, and the damning hotel surveillance video showing Diddy assaulting Cassie. Their strategy centered on portraying Diddy as the head of a criminal enterprise that systematically exploited, abused, and trafficked victims over a period of years.
It went through, it was because there's a lot of jurors. There's like, I think the pool is like anywhere from like 150, 175. I believe it's 150 people.
One interesting moment during jury selection came when a potential juror revealed a connection to previous litigation against Diddy. As recounted during a Breakfast Club segment, a man disclosed that his wife had been one of the attorneys involved in a lawsuit related to a stampede at a Diddy party where people had died. This potential juror was promptly excluded from consideration, and
so a lot of the jurors had to update you and say, yo, since the last time I saw you, here's what's changed. One man got on the stand and basically said, my wife was one of the litigators. Remember that party that Puff had when there was a stampede?
After thorough vetting, a jury of 12 members and 6 alternates was seated and opening statements were delivered on May 12, 2025. Key to the prosecution's case were 4 alleged victims expected to testify, with victim 1 widely believed to be Cassie Ventura. Based on the timeline and details of the allegations, the prosecutors intended to present not only witness testimony but also physical evidence from the March 2024 raids, including electronic devices, drugs, and the notorious baby oil and lubricant allegedly used in the free course. Perhaps the most powerful piece of evidence in the prosecution's arsenal was a 2016 hotel surveillance video showing Diddy assaulting Cassie.
How do you feel about the case being reopened, or the idea of Puffy having paid the Southside Crips to get Tupac and Suge killed on the night of September 7th, 1996? Do you believe the rumors? Do you think that he's capable of something like that?
Yeah, I think cowards are capable of paying people to do things they would like to do.
Diddy's defense team, led by Mark Agnifilo, known for representing other high-profile clients like NX IVM leader Keith Raniere, and including Tenny Garrigo's daughter, renowned attorney Mark Euros, face an uphill battle. Their strategy is outlined in an April 2025 statement centered on portraying the accusers as former long-term girlfriends engaged in consensual relationships with Diddy. They argued that while Diddy's private life might be unconventional, characterized by what they described as a swinger lifestyle, it was defined by consent, not coercion. Notably, Diddy had rejected a plea deal in early May 2025, choosing instead to fight the case at trial. This decision suggested confidence in his defense, a desire to clear his name publicly, or perhaps simply a refusal to admit guilt to the serious charges he faced. Whatever the reasoning, the choice to proceed to trial meant that all the allegations against him would be aired in public, creating a spectacle that had everybody's attention. Throughout the proceedings, Diddy tried to maintain a stoic demeanor in court, though observers noted moments of visible stress and anxiety. In one telling moment captured by a reporter inside the courtroom, Diddy asked the judge for a bathroom break, explaining that he was a little bit nervous. His hands were reportedly seen shaking at times, and his face appeared noticeably paler than in his pre-arrest public appearances.
He's definitely a lot thinner. Face is very pale. A lot of gray hair. Some black, but a lot of gray hair. You could tell he was nervous. And he said it in the courtroom. He had asked to go to the bathroom. He was like, excuse me, Judge, I'm a little bit nervous.
The fallout from the allegations and trial extended far beyond Diddy himself. His business empire, once valued in the hundreds of millions of dollars, faced an uncertain future. His alcohol brands, clothing lines, and media ventures all took major L's as corporate partners distanced themselves from the toxic association. His record label, Bad Boy Records, once a powerhouse in hip-hop, became something of a pariah in the industry. The case also prompted broader soul-searching within the music industry about Power dynamics, predatory behavior, and the systems that allegedly allowed such conduct to continue unchecked for decades, many question how such widespread abuse could have occurred without intervention, leading to calls for stronger protections for vulnerable individuals in entertainment.
I've been with Puffy. I know you're not really tapped in, but what
Yeah,
is
the last thing I saw was like a guy there. He was like, yo, he like pushed me into the truck. It really hurt. And he sodomized me. Like he sodomized me. I was like, yo, look, I could find other things to do for money.
Did you see the video?
I could find other things to do for money. But I'm not sure I can say that for money. Like somebody pushed
How much is this guy trying to get?
I don't know. Like it's a simple suit situation, but it's like
20.
The financial implications for Diddy were equally severe legal fees for his defense team, and the numerous civil cases stacked up into the millions at the same time his assets came under scrutiny. In addition to his private jet being listed for sale, Diddy offered his Miami mansion as collateral for a $50 million bond, which was ultimately denied and listed his Los Angeles mansion for $61. $5 million. These financial moves suggested he was trying to liquidate assets potentially to cover legal costs or prepare for significant civil settlements. The trial took an even more dramatic tone when prosecutors brought in evidence related to the infamous free course mentioned in the indictment. Hotel records, receipts, and witness testimony established a pattern of elaborate multi-day events in luxury suites across various cities. According to testimony reported by CBS News, these events followed a consistent format. Drugs and alcohol would be provided in abundance. Participants would be encouraged or coerced to engage in illegal acts, and in many cases Diddy himself would allegedly direct the activities like he was shooting a movie. Perhaps most disturbing were allegations that these events were sometimes recorded without participants' knowledge or consent.
You know, like they'll have a dude come out with the paper, sign an NDA. No, I'm going to the car, bro. I'm good. I'm not signing no NDA. I'm going.
As the prosecution built its case, Diddy's defense team worked to create reasonable doubt in jurors' minds. They highlighted inconsistencies in witness testimony, suggested accusers were just looking for a bag, and tried to portray Diddy as a generous mentor whose relationships had been consensual if unconventional. They particularly focused on the timeline of allegations, questioning why many accusers had waited years or even decades to come forward. One particularly consequential moment came when a former security professional testified about Diddy's alleged practice of recording compromising footage of industry figures and using it as leverage, seemingly confirming theories that had circulated online for years. While the testimony was challenged by the defense as hearsay, it nonetheless created headlines and reinforced public perception of a systematic pattern of manipulation and control.
They would get people in compromising positions. They'll hold that footage over their head and get them to agree to things. You see what I'm saying? So like, you know what, if you see somebody with the chain on, with that little vial of blood on their neck, well, they a Scientologist, bro. So it's definitely gonna be footage of them somewhere doing something compromising. That's how a lot of these agreements get made. People get.
As documented by NBC News, the prosecution's case culminated with testimony from financial investigators who traced money movements allegedly connected to trafficking activities. Bank records, credit card statements, and cash withdrawals created a paper trail linking Diddy to payments for hotel suites, private flights, and other expenses connected to the alleged criminal enterprise's financial evidence provided crucial